Welcome everybody to Through the Ropes podcast. It's your boy JD. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm the voice behind the scenes today. Yes, I'm like the old mighty behind the scenes. If you're listening on podcast, hey, this is normal. I'm just here. Welcome to episode 3. Today we will be talking about WrestleMania and we will be talking about Raw after WrestleMania.
Yes,
but before I dibble and dab, if you're watching on YouTube, say hello to the 4 beautiful faces. First up, we have.
What's going on, y'all? It's your man in Human Long. Pleasure to be back, man.
what's
Thank you.
crack-a-lackin'? What's crack-a-lackin', everybody? I was about to say dog. It's your boy Meet You Black, Wagwan, everyone.
Well, it's main event RJ back, and I'm here to defend Philly and the criticisms they got from this show. But yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll defend us.
And last but not least.
It's the final hater, Dirty Dan. I'm here to defend nobody.
I love it. Well, it's funny you say defend the Philly crowd. Before I let you guys go off, I will say I enjoyed the Philly crowd. I would give my quick initial thoughts on it. I thought WrestleMania was amazing. Obviously, for me, I haven't watched wrestling and kept up with it for quite some time. I just got back within like the last 2 months, but I got to say it was a pleasure. It was fun. It does seem like a brand new era. It got me excited. My wife is watching it. A lot of people just seem interested in it all over again. So I would just say all around it was great. But again, I don't want to dive too much into it. I want to let you guys do that. So initially, I just want to start the conversation for you boys. Night one. Let's start off with just night one specifically. How was your initial thoughts and what was your rating on the night? I want you to finish with your rating. So Inhuman, please take us off with your initial thoughts of night one. How do you think it went? What was your favorite matches? Let's not do that. Just give me your initial thoughts first and give me your rating, and then we'll kind of dive into the matches. Go ahead.
No doubt. Night one, God, we started off with Rhea and Becky, and I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I'm a huge fan of Rhea, but if there's anything I'm a more bigger fan of, is the band who made her intro, which is Motionless in White. So that was actually epic to see, and I am very, very happy, considering the fact that last year I tweeted her multiple times, and I tweeted the lead vocalist of the band, you should probably do her intro live. So I ain't saying I'm the one who made it happen, but I did throw that up in the air. yeah, I'm gonna leave somebody. And they from Scranton, PA, so they're right across. But overall though, in terms of night one, I'd probably, God, I don't want to just consider any give it a rating, but like night one, the final match was the highlight of the whole night, and it felt a little weird because normally you'll have those they try to spread it out, but you got 2 nights to get as much as you can done. But I felt like the only redeeming quality truly was the final match, with maybe a few moments within the rest of the nights, but I felt like they were just moments. So I don't know, maybe I give night one, on a good day, maybe like a 7 out of 10 on a good day. Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a good day.
All right, so night one was kind of. I'm gonna be honest, it was to me. I like the last match, like with The Rock and Roman versus Cody and stuff. I love that match. The whole night, and the crowd didn't help either. The crowd was like really killing it for me anyway. And I was like, they weren't really into it. I understand they're outside, but like, I'm not trying to be hype, and y'all just sitting there not hyping up the shit that they're doing in the ring. Y'all just like, That's just me. And this rating, I'm gonna give like a 6.5 out of 10.
RJ, my man said 6.5. He's giving
I
out
try to
halves.
keep it with whole numbers, my best, man.
Yeah, it's all right. I would prefer whole numbers, but RJ, how did you feel, bro? Talk to me.
I honestly kind of agree almost, except I don't blame the crowd for this. I mean, when you listen, these guys were cold, bro. They were freezing to death. And if there's nothing going on in that ring, and there kind of wasn't anything going on in that ring, I'm not getting out of my seat. I'm preserving my heat as much as possible. But it was definitely a slow start to the first night. I think it ended pretty well. I think we were all kind of in a situation waiting for night 2. That
Yes.
like
Yeah.
night 2 was, I think, so stacked. It was kind of hard to not be excited, but be as enthusiastic when you kind of know. Especially the match quality wasn't all the way there. There's a couple on here I'd like to talk in more detail about, but I won't. But I think overall, I'll give it a 7. I think just for the overall feel of WrestleMania, it still had it. It just wasn't anything spectacular. It was no night 2. Yeah.
Wow. Anywho, RJ, so do you think if they would switch the cards around, it would change the feel? Even to you and Human and Dane, like, do y'all think if they would switch the card around, y'all maybe will feel differently? You
Uh,
don't got
I,
to tell me
I,
what matches y'all change or nothing, just in
I'll
general.
take that first. I'm going to say no, only because, I mean, if you just watch wrestling, you kind of already knew that literally night 1 was really only there to set up for night 2. We knew that the main event for night 1 was going to determine stipulations for night 2, and I mean, you kind of already knew what was going to happen. We
Yeah,
just
yeah.
didn't know how it was going to happen. So I don't think that if you switched them around, it really would have done much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could have switched maybe the Bailey and Rhea fight, switch those around, but
Sure.
I still don't think it would have done much because I feel as though you needed still a big draw for night 1. But yeah, I don't think it really would have changed much. And in terms of the crowd, yo, listen, having been there actually night 2, sitting in them seats, it's cold. All right, it's cold, and it was cold in night 1. And I'll tell you, I was freezing my ass off night 2.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
you know,
Because
for from home, I was like, it doesn't look too bad, but I know it was, pretty
Oh,
damn cold. Dirty Dan,
yeah.
how did you feel? Give me some of your initial thoughts as well.
Okay, well, as far as it's mid. That first night was mid to me. Had nothing to do with the crowd, none of that. Because, like I said, if I was sitting in the crowd freezing my ass off, oh, I ain't cheering like that.
right.
Respect it.
But
Yeah.
I think the Rhea Becky thing,
Mm-hmm.
Becky just wasn't well. Period.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
I agree.
that match was just doomed from the get.
Unfortunate
Yep.
is
Yeah,
what I would use to describe it. It was just all
yeah.
unfortunate.
Now the tag team matches, like the 6-man tag, like that was all right.
I enjoyed it.
I
was
enjoyed
fun.
it. It was fun. Jimmy and Jay, like everybody thought was gonna be a super kick fest. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one was
Trash.
yeah.
that one
It
was
is
Trash.
ass.
nothing
You know what?
against them, but it was just a straight up super kick fest. So like,
We'll
yeah,
get into that. We'll get into that very soon. Continue.
Mm-hmm.
the Bianca match. Of course, we already knew Bianca was gonna win.
I can't say it, but
They ain't breaking that streak.
Yeah. So and Ray and
yeah.
Andrade, that was Dominic
I
should
got
have won
stuff
once
to say about
again.
that.
Yeah,
But,
we'll talk about that,
yeah.
Dominic. And then The Rock, like a human said, I don't think anybody in this podcast, didn't think The Rock and Roman Reigns was gonna win night 1.
Yeah,
I think
we all knew
everybody.
they were.
I think
Yeah.
we all felt like they were gonna win because they were gonna make this story
Yeah.
night 2.
Yeah.
So like
It was obvious.
that was a good I think that was a great match actually. But
That was a good match.
since it was predictable, it didn't save it for me. So I was like,
Respect.
honestly, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It was just mid for me. Seriously,
Ooh.
it was just middle of the road.
Respect it.
Ooh.
I will say this though. All like trolling aside, I think The Rock did really well in the ring.
No, he did amazing. I mean,
I-
and
Like, I think he did
had
well.
people train.
His
He had
cells
people
are on
trained with.
point still 100%.
Yeah.
yeah, I was
Like,
gonna
I
say
feel like
that.
he did.
And
I just want to put that out there.
and he put his stamp, like he stamped it. Honestly, it was almost like a bravo moment for him. So now let's jump into some of these matches a little bit on night 1 because I think that's important really quick. So like let's just talk about instead of so much of the ugly because I understand it was a little blah and I understand that. Let's talk about some of your favorite points. What was your favorite match of the night in Human? We'll start off with you. What was your favorite match? Like what do you think was the bright spot? I know you mentioned the main event, but anything else other than that, or maybe just the main event?
Yeah. Well, one little thing that I noticed. Funny enough, Dominic's technical skill got a lot better. He used to mess up a lot with his holds, and
Yeah.
even when you drop somebody, how you just gotta kind of guide them.
Mhm.
He's gotten a lot better, and I saw a video where Rhea was actually talking about that, and she's talking about how proud, like how much he's improved. Haven't seen that match. It's actually visible. Like if you go back to was it last Mania where he fought his dad? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you just go back to just last Mania, rewatch that fight. he does not know even how to fight with somebody shorter than him. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was messing up holds, messing up. He didn't know what he was doing with his pops. So like that right there actually was a good
A bright
moment
spot.
for me to for it to be that noticeable, pretty much. Other than that, I mean, seeing Jade in there, I mean, it's her first
Oh,
Mania,
good
and
call.
Yeah.
like that. I'll let y'all go ahead, but it was just, it's cool to finally see her be in WWE. She
Yeah.
got her spot. The crowd obviously loves her, but at the same time, you can still see that the crowd reaction for Naomi, like I love it so much because she deserves to be in the WWE. And again, them two alongside with Bianca is just
I'll
amazing
fucking
Amazing.
because
curse. I love it.
yeah,
Okay.
the power. I love that
Love it.
stuff. So like that match alone, with just being able to see them three, aside from yes, who they did fight, but just them three alone, it was good to see all three of them get a WrestleMania moment. Well deserved to all three of them.
Love that. Michi Black. How was your not how was your feelings, but what was your favorite match of the night for WrestleMania?
I'm gonna say excluding the main event because I feel we all like the
Yep,
main event. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with the ladder match.
I agree.
I'm gonna go with the ladder match. I was like, even though like I definitely talk shit on it,
You
I
did.
watched it and I did the ladder match definitely was a good point of night one. I liked it for the simple fact that A Town. Yeah, I can't get it out. I'm not gonna fuck it up. I'm not gonna fuck it up.
A-Town down, man.
Down.
I thought it was. That's exactly what I thought it
Oh
was.
man.
But I was like, man, I don't want to fuck it up.
All right, go
But
ahead
A
though.
Town, like it was even though I didn't want them to win, it was something new to see that a heel got it out of nowhere and like no one was expecting it. And now we're about to see a new team. I'm pretty sure on SmackDown, right? That they're going to defend the championship, and I want to see that.
Yeah.
Austin Theory is actually a good ass wrestler, and people talk shit on him. I don't understand why. And Grayson Waller, like his mic work is so much better than what I thought it was, and I think he could wrestle too.
Love that. I love that.
He's
That's a
not
great
my
call.
favorite yet, but I definitely starting to like them. Also, in truth, I'm gonna say this on the pod. They shouldn't be in this match. They should never have been in the match. I don't give a damn if it's the I can't get the niggas. Our Truth's Mania moment. They shouldn't have been up there. It should have been a different time. Like, how you going to put them in there for comedic relief when you have other teams like Street Profits fighting the niggas that are in NXT right now? Like,
I mean,
I
I
don't
respect that.
understand.
they won.
No, but I don't want to see that though, bro. I don't
Well,
want to
then
see
again,
that.
we are talking about SmackDown aside from Raw though, because Street Profits are on SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
So
they
so
were
it's
probably
like,
going to win
well,
this
but
anyways.
what I will say, yeah, like what I will say is that
Yeah,
like
real quick.
I did agree with that. I do understand though that they are doing this as a kind of like, here you go, just go ahead and take it type shit.
Upward grab.
Our Truth has been his promo game alone. It's just hilarious,
Yep.
top notch,
no,
and um,
bro. Come on, bro.
I'm
Let's be
with you.
honest. It's not funny no
All right, all
more.
right, all right. Let's
Live,
cut it.
laugh,
Hold on,
love,
hold on,
Judgment
hold on.
Day.
Hold on. Let's not get off the beaten path. Let's not get off the beaten
Oh man,
path.
I'm about to say, oh man, you gonna have me turn my
Listen,
seat.
listen. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you feel about our Truth. He is your new champion, bro, and it just is what it is.
But
And they gave him
Tag
his
team.
WrestleMania moment.
And he
I get
deserves it in
that.
my head because I just think that they give this guy the runaround, bro. I feel like they just make him
No,
do the
I
dumbest
They made him
things.
straight comic relief, so they
Yeah.
finally gave him a belt.
Like he
I
They didn't
deserves
give
no,
him a
I
moment.
something.
get no, I get the moment. I honestly do, but I just don't like how you put them in over a team like the Street
I
Profits that should
understand
have been
that.
in
And
there.
you know what? I
I
respect
understand
that
that.
opinion. I respect that opinion. I can't really debate that. I
I'm not
can't.
saying he
Yeah.
doesn't deserve his moment, but
No.
I just didn't like how it went about. And then like the whole thing he did in the match, a hot tag, I didn't find that fun, but everyone's loving it. That
Yeah.
was like,
yeah, I was
what are
not
you
I
about
doing?
mean, I thought the
My
tag
I
was
thought it was
funny.
hilarious.
I didn't think the pin
oh
was funny.
man,
I thought the whole pin was just stupid. Like I think making him look stupid isn't funny. Like the whole tag thing was kind of funny. You know, that didn't make him look too stupid. But with the whole pin, it's like like he knows, bro. Like and that's what I'm saying. Like those little things that I feel like they make him do extra, make him look extra dumb at times. I feel like damn, like he deserves a belt based off of that. But again, I don't want to get too deep into that. RJ, what was your favorite moment or your favorite match of night one?
You know, night one it had its blunders, but it had the hidden gem of the ring general And
Mhm.
Sami Zayn, I
with you.
went into that match
I'm with you. Yeah.
with 100% certainty of a winner. I did not get that winner at all, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I fell to my knees after that pinfall. But
I told you.
the setup at the very beginning convinced me that, you know what, I'm okay with this. I love Sami Zayn. The brain buster on the fucking
That was
turnbuckle.
nice.
I geeked out and I fell to my knees and accepted. You know what? I like Sammy. I really do. I love Gunther too, but this just means Gunther will be going for that world championship soon.
Yep.
So it was
Yeah.
definitely, it is potentially my favorite match of the weekend. I can
Ooh.
get into more of that later, but that match completely saved night one for me because I was on that match. That match was brilliant. I loved it. I love Sammy Gunther. Sammy and Gunther separately are already incredible to me. Them in that match was everything I wanted, and I even got more because, like I said, I didn't expect that winner, and they kind of convinced me he should be that winner. And I was going into it thinking he shouldn't be that winner. I'm like, you know what? I can accept. I like this. I like this outcome.
Michi
Even just a little
Black
bit.
is absolutely dumbfounded by your comments right now.
Bro, yeah, I'm about to
So
have you
before I
snap
get
back
to
That
down
man
and
lost
lock
the
your
win.
winner.
You're not about to cut me off again.
I
So
was saying, hold on, wait, hold on,
Well,
hold on,
I'm gonna wait,
hold on,
I'm gonna
hold on,
wait,
nah,
I'm gonna wait.
nah, because I want to know what is your problem? Why is the Sammy? Because I actually agree with this, and I'm a Gunther fan, so I actually want to hear your
At
rhetoric
least look
here
stressed.
for a second. You got
Bro,
a minute
'cause
before I pass you. Come on now.
I don't understand how like Sammy is in this position. There's no reason for him to be in this position like whatsoever. There's no reason for Sammy to be in a title match after be gone for like 6+ months, maybe less, maybe more, but we're gonna say 6 months. Bro comes back at Royal Rumble at number 30. Not a single person popped for him. No panties were thrown at him. No
Hold on,
bras were
hold on.
thrown for him.
we called you a liar the last time you said that. The
Yeah,
people pop for him.
I don't know
I
what
think so.
I am
Yeah.
not even a
You were
Sammy
watching it
fan,
muted.
and they popped for him. There was
Yeah,
people in
maybe
He's
tears.
just partially deaf.
Do we have to rewatch this? We got Peacock.
Please, we might got to.
If
Let's pick a
we
weekend.
gotta
We can watch
interject the
it.
clip here on YouTube.
Because I don't
Man,
If it was his choice, it'd be Ricochet. Ricochet just came back
No,
himself.
it wouldn't be Ricochet. If it
know
was
what?
my
It should
choice,
be
I'll pick
Ricochet.
Jey Uso. Not I'll
I
pick
would
Jey
agree.
Uso.
You saw what
I
he
would agree.
did.
But
He got you.
hold on, RJ. Go get your point. Go ahead.
I fully agree. You know what? Sammy should not have been in this position because he should be competing for the world heavyweight title. But that's
You're
unrealistic.
no, anyway.
This is
I'm a good guy, bro.
No.
Dirty Dan, what was your favorite
Yeah,
match at
No,
WrestleMania?
I agree. The favorite match was Gunther and
That's a
Sammy.
good answer. That's a
But
great answer.
at the end of the day, I would like to say we were all in the chat. I said
You did, man.
Sammy was going to win.
Yeah.
Because the minute he quoted Rocky, I already knew where they were going. As soon as he quoted Rocky on Raw, I was like, oh, they're trying to make him the underdog
Yeah.
and everything else. And then what wound up happening? He won. But that's
Nah,
saved the night,
hold
though.
on, Danny. You missed the
did.
important part. KO
What?
came out and told Sammy, "You got this, bro."
You
I
got
know
it.
what I'm
Oh,
saying.
man.
That cut to the back.
But I'm saying, but
told me everything I
Raw.
need to know.
I'm
Yeah.
saying, but once the Raw thing when he was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh yeah,
Bro.
yeah.
All right, quick to
Once he
Inhuman.
did the whole-
Inhuman, really quick.
Yeah.
You got something to add?
Yeah, no. I honestly thought that they were going to give him the whole like Sammy loses in the end, and the whole crowd's like it's okay, like that type of shit and everything. But once I saw Owens in the beginning of it, give him the whole smack in the face, I was like,
Yep.
no, I think he got it in the bag and everything and stuff.
You
And then
thought they
once
were
they
gonna
was
go Rocky
fighting,
1, but he didn't.
yeah. So
No.
once they actually got into the fight and actually saw it, I started to, I guess you could say, understand it a little bit more. And like I said in the last pod, I had a feeling they were gonna do the whole Daniel Bryan's shit.
Yeah,
Like they were
yeah.
gonna do it. And it makes sense. And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, once I found out Bull was Muslim, I was like, hey yo, let him win it. I was like, take it.
Give it to him. Let him have it.
Yeah,
Well, here-
he ain't eat all night. He ain't eat all.
Yeah.
It was fight. Let him win it, man. Let
Oh,
him win
man.
it.
Here's my thing,
game.
right?
Yep.
The only reason I thought it was corny is because they went with the Rocky thing.
I agree.
If they didn't do
Yeah.
that like corny ass shit real quick and then Sammy won,
And then the
It's
trainer.
I
shocking.
Don't
still would have
forget
been
the
okay
trainer.
with it because I'm like, all right, Gunther, now he can focus on world
Mhm.
title. But once they went the Rocky route, I was like, all right, I know what they're doing, bro.
Right. I think the problem with the Rocky build is that it didn't correlate with what Sammy was doing before they started
Exactly,
the Rocky
yeah.
build.
Mm.
Because his build before that was, I want to be on WrestleMania really bad. I don't care what I'm doing. And it's like, oh, now he's the underdog. It's like, well, he was the underdog before. That's what he's always been. Why are we like fast forwarding through this to a Rocky story? But it's like, it's Philadelphia. Whatever, it makes sense.
Yeah,
I
fuck
guess.
it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So night one, overall, I think if I had to combine everything, we'll give it about a 6.5, 7 around there. Not too bad, not too shabby for a Saturday night. About night number 2. Let's talk about it. Inhuman. I don't even want to give my thoughts too much because, to be honest, I kind of gave my overall thoughts. I really can't add more. So, how was your feelings about night number 2 overall? And you know what? Give me your favorite match right off the bat. Why not? Let's
And
talk
you
about
were
it.
there, so let us know.
Yeah,
you were there
yeah,
you
live,
there.
so you
I
have a
think,
different
yeah,
perspective.
Sending us the same
Yeah,
picture.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm actually very biased to like night 2.
I
Multiple
love that.
reasons. One, it was here in Philly. 2, obviously I was there. My first Mania and my first big WWE event and everything. So um off rip, my favorite match is obviously the final one. And I think we all know why the main event was there. Again, same as or night 2 actually, but same as night 1, we knew what was gonna happen, kind of. We
Mhm.
just didn't know how.
How?
And that how was mind blowing. It for me, I'll be honest, night 2 as a whole saved the whole freaking weekend.
agree.
If night 2 was just a okay at best type situation, Mania would have really been in a shitty thing. But I didn't expect for me to be that hyped for Drew McIntyre's fight. I will be honest. I didn't really expect it, but even how it ended and stuff, like
That was crazy,
it
bro.
was great and messed up at the same time and
Poor
everything and stuff.
Bendito.
Uh, yeah.
No, that was beautiful. I don't care.
Oh
It was
man.
so good.
Oh no,
All of
it was because the thing is like we were all rooting for like McIntyre when he got the belt. We were like, let's go, and then literally like at least my section and like the one below us and everything, we're like, where's David? Where's David? Then you hear on the whole section on the other side, you just hear somebody saying, cash it in, cash it in. I'm like, oh Sam, he comes out.
And that Puerto
And
Rican snatches your soul.
Bro.
and I shit you not, like me and like a whole bunch of Ricans around. I ain't even noticed how many damn Ricans around me.
Right?
All you hear them is screaming, "Weapon! Weapon!" Oh man, it was great, and it was a great feeling just to know I had family around me. But at the same time, it was just a good feel because you're not Damon's a heel.
Yeah.
Now, granted, so is McIntyre, but for us to literally switch up so fast. That lets
Yep.
you know that like we really have been waiting for you to cash this in. And the experience of
Hmm.
one actually being able to witness you cashing it in, getting the belt too, and then also just it just adds more to the mania itself. More things happen aside from just this match. So but again, obviously main event was
Yep.
my top thing
I mean, to
about it.
be
But
honest,
that
that was
right
a
there,
great
that
overall
was
synopsis. Shit, that was a great synopsis. Yeah.
yes.
And you wrapped it up very well. And again, you were there live, so like you just have a different perspective, man. And that's really dope that you were able to really see that. So let me ask you this specifically before I move on to Michi Black and how he
Of
feels.
course.
When Undertaker came out, how crazy was it, bro? Like, what was the energy?
It was different because
You
those
can't
lights
explain
went
it.
off and like it was almost like a whole like silence and then
Mm-hmm.
it felt like almost everybody mentally said no fucking way, like, and then you hear that bell and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's no way this is happening because like we didn't expect for Taker to be the one to come out.
I bet you we were half right.
Nobody. Yeah,
We
halfway.
were
Yeah,
half right.
Yeah.
yo,
You were close.
yeah, like you know how many people literally were just wearing the Stone Cold shirts, the
Ooh.
This
Philly
guy right here.
316 shirts.
Him.
Yeah.
It should have been him.
Yeah, like it was all these Austin like, or Philly 316 shirts and everything. Crazy people wearing them because that was the expectation. And then that happened, and it's like you can't even be mad
Nope.
No.
because not
You
only
cannot.
did that happen, but like everyone just screamed like as soon as he picked them up, everybody was like
I
up
screamed.
and
Yeah.
down.
Oh,
And
me and Jay were going height.
I
I'll give
screamed.
my I'll
Yeah.
give my reason at the end why I think the Undertaker was actually a better pick anyway. in the
Okay,
long
cool.
run.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like
Well,
that. I'll go quick,
with
quick.
that and everything is that is the scared face on the Rock and the history of that and everything. Like that, just it was kind of like the icing on the cake because it was aside from the story between how they're doing Bloodline and Cody, that's a big enough as it is. But when you see the Rock turn around and he sees Undertaker and his scared face, you're like, that's supposed to happen. Like
Mhm.
from
Mhm.
everything that we know and who we like, that's supposed to happen. So everything about just that final match felt right, and nothing felt out of place. The whole I will be honest, everyone was waiting for Dean Ambrose or whatever we wish to
Bro,
call him now.
John
Once that
Moxley.
Shield music came on, forget it. Like forget everybody's like, oh my God, where are they? We were saying they, not where is he. We're saying
Yeah,
they. We
they.
fully expected for them to come out, and unfortunately, well, it was just that they. But expectations again, it's Mania, so
Right.
your expectations of
It's
anything that
huge.
happens is always going to be up there.
Right.
So and then of course Undertaker shows up, lights go off, whatever, and when they come back on, everybody's gone,
So
and it's
so
just yeah.
what would you say the bigger pop was for Cena or Undertaker? Definitely Undertaker, huh?
30 seconds, 1000%. Like, don't get me wrong. When as soon as you heard Cena's music come on, whole place erupted. Yes, but once those lights went out, it was like every generation of fan of wrestling knows what
Oh,
that
exactly,
means,
exactly.
and it was
Yeah.
that split second between lights going out and hearing that first bell, like that 2 milliseconds, whatever, that everyone in agreement knew this was about to be some shit.
Ooh.
I love that. Okay, so Michi Black, how did you feel
Um,
about night two? Give me your favorite moment as well. Go ahead.
Night two, I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely agree with my boy Inhuman. It saved the rest of me. However, I don't agree with that we switched sides with Damien Priest because I ain't switched shit. He was he was supposed to cash in a damn thing on that nigga Drew.
Facts.
But besides that though, the night two was actually great. My favorite match, cool. Ooh, this is a good one. I'm gonna say the Bailey. I'm gonna say the Bailey match.
Ooh, that's a good. Okay.
Her, and I'm pronouncing the name just for y'all, just to show y'all. Io. Had to,
He's so
had to
proud of
do that.
himself.
I had to do that real quick.
Uh-huh.
But
So I'm proud of
Bailey,
you.
Io, were they really putting on the show? I can't hold. They was putting on a fucking show.
Yep.
That was definitely a good
Like
match.
Bailey was really showing why she's really that girl for carrying the company for like 4 years from COVID time to now.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't know how
It's
she
like
did it
icing on
because
the
there's
cake.
no way.
Oh,
COVID when
fun
there's no.
fact.
Mhm.
Real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you, but during that match, someone actually got kicked out. They were trying to start a chant
Yeah,
saying
I was
women
about to
can't
say that.
wrestle.
Cool. I was about to say
Oh.
Oh,
that.
I'm
I
sorry.
was cool.
He said
We
fun
saw the
fact.
commotion. We were like, "Yo, what's going on over there?"
All right, so RJ, what was your opinions on night two and your overall favorite match, your least favorite, and just your overall thoughts, period?
What's crazy about night two is that it was such a good night that I genuinely my least favorite match isn't my least favorite match because I didn't like it. It's just that everything else was just so good that I was shocked at how much I liked it.
Hmm.
The US triple threat I think would probably be my least favorite on that card, not because it was a bad match, but because it was a little short.
Yeah.
It almost didn't feel like there was any real danger for Logan's title reign right now. So I was kind of like, you know what? I know Logan's gonna win. I'm just gonna enjoy the ride, and it was fun. That's literally the only reason why it's my least favorite. Overall, my favorite one though, I want it to be the main event because Cody finished the story. We had all the introduction and stuff. It is exactly what I wanted. I said on here that I wanted to be an overbooked mess, and that's exactly what it was.
Hmm.
But that Bailey Io match was so good, and I
I
think
know,
what
bro.
my favorite part about it is it got to fully showcase how good Bailey is and how good Io is. And I think
I
that it
agree.
actually kind of exposed that Io hasn't been defending that title as much as she should have, and she really should have. Because she
Yep.
is so good in the ring. It's almost like we got like really good Io when we're about to not lose her because she'll still be on SmackDown and stuff. And she might still be in the title picture for all we know, but if she's still with Damage Control, she probably won't be first in line. She'll probably have to go through it. And honestly, she probably won't be back until maybe Royal Rumble season or until maybe a B pay-per-view where they need her to just kind of like be an opponent for whoever's champion at the time. Especially because they got Jade Cargill now. They've got Naomi. They've got Bianca. Even with the draft, there's so many big women like for the championship now where it's like, damn, I wish they could have showed off this EO before she was losing the title, because I think this performance shows that she should still be in this area because it was so good. There was really big storytelling moments, but there was also a lot of subtle things like Bailey selling her knee. I don't know if you guys noticed. She wasn't holding it every 3 seconds or like every time she did something. She did, I think, a tope out of the ring and hit EO, and instead of just like standing there, oh my knee, she kind of like tapped it, shook it a little bit, and then went on because you know she had only barely worked it. And then after that, she had her in that like knee bar over the ropes, and then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, now my knee is really starting to mess with me. It was surgically replaced. It does need to be, you know, watched a little bit more. But like she sold it really well. It showed how good these women truly were, and it's another situation like last year because when Rhea Ripley won the Royal Rumble, everybody thought she was going to main event. She didn't main event, and she had a main event level match. I'm just happy that they were able to do that again because I feel like they should have had it. If they didn't have it, they took the time that they had and they made it so like, hey, maybe I should have been night one. I understand why they weren't, but I'm glad they put on a main event show, and that's the only match on this card that makes me like reconsider Sammy Gunther being my first match. Like on a card full of good matches, that Bailey EO one was a really good
stood
one.
out.
I really liked that one. It was a good opportunity for them to just show off. They are good at what they do. They like what they do, and their story may have been a little cold, but they worked with what they had. And I really liked that match. I really overall liked night 2. I want to give night 2 a 10. I don't know if that's recency biased. I kind of don't want to give it a 10 for that, but literally any lower, it would literally just be like a 9. Where it's like, am I really giving this show a 9? Where I got 5 straight banger matches, or 5 or 6, or I loved every single one. Like rewatching it, because I watched it the first time intoxicated, and I rewatched it sober. Rewatching it sober, I'm like, I like this way more than I liked it when I was intoxicated. I like this night. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. I genuinely like night 2. I think if I do kind of agree with what we said earlier about switching the cards around if the crowd would have made it better or worse. It is a lot harder because the crowd was on fire for night 2. I think the quality of the matches, though, were still there. If you give them a cold crowd, I think more people would be like, hey, we had a cold crowd on a good match rather than, hey, we had a good match on a good show. So overall, I'll give it a 10 now. I'll reassess it as, you know, the weeks go by, but every match just hit harder and harder. The Damian Priest cash-in was so good. The Bailey EO, the Philly street fight had no right being good, but it was good. It was just a nice, fun match in between. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. And then Cody finishing his story, I think no matter what was going to be a big deal. We all wanted him to finish the story. He got the story finished, and it just made for night 2. It was a good bow on the weekend.
Yep,
it
I agree.
Perfectly tied up the weekend, so you'd be like, this was a great weekend of wrestling. It was fun and it was good.
I agree. Dirty Dan, how you feeling? And we can wrap it up for WrestleMania talk and head on to Raw. How are you feeling about night number 2? Excuse me. How are you feeling about night number 2?
Night number 2 was perfect. Like there was no match that I didn't like. Like, if I had to pick a match that like I liked the least,
or you want to highlight
with RJ, it's the Logan Paul match.
Ooh,
but
I did like that one too.
No, that's the one I like the least out of the whole
least.
Night.
Oh no, I like that one. I actually like that one. My least favorite was the Usos.
I said I like them all. I said, but if I'm gonna pick one out of that night 2 that I didn't like, it's gonna be Logan. As far as the ones I like, the top one's gonna be Cody, and then the second's gonna be Bailey. I agree. Bailey's story, she deserved to be where she was at. Yeah.
I'm sorry not to interrupt, but I did touch on the Usos. We didn't get a touch on that. Like, we did kind of like talk about how bad that match was. Like, how disappointed were you, Dirty Dan?
We'll
I want to interrupt.
Yeah,
real quick. Now, hold on, real quick.
So
real quick, Dirty Dan. Because the only reason why I want to discuss it is because Meech mentioned the title match for him, and he does have a lot of steam behind him. So it was kind of weird to see him lose that match to me, and then see him come out and have a bad match at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like it is worth the conversation. Do you guys feel like this actually like moves the needle behind a little bit? And what's up with Dirty Dan? Dan, do you feel like with the Uso, especially Jay, like with such a bad type of performance and such a bad type of match that people kind of agree with that? It's so bad we don't want to talk about it. Do you feel like that can kind of move the needle backwards for someone like him? Like he has a lot of hype, or do you think it's kind of just like whatever?
It's whatever. I think that was anybody that saw they were going to fight knew this was going to be a clash of super kicks. They're both the same.
Mm.
It's the Spider-Man meme. They're
Oh,
both
okay.
the same. They both do the same thing: super kicks, frog splash, all this other stuff. No, everybody knew it was going to happen.
Respect it.
But
RJ.
these are still two professional athletes that have been in the game for a very long time. I could have predicted this match to be not interesting. I could not have predicted this to be a bad match like it was. Rewatching this match sober, I actually realized that I should have been more mad at this match. It was a nothing sandwich with nothing on it. There was
I kind of agree.
no drama. There was no wrestling. There was no, because if you make an argument for the Sammy Gunther fight, be like, there's no real story. Yeah. That's fine. The wrestling by itself was fine. If you just watch the Sammy Gunther match by itself, it was a good match. You can move on, whether you liked it or not, depending on how you like Gunther matches. If you watch this match by itself, it literally felt like watching two amateurs that they just said, go do a WrestleMania match. Damn. This match felt like I needed an apology for it. I genuinely don't understand.
That's hilarious.
Like, if you told me these were two NXT guys, I'd be like, okay, they were nervous. They were on the stage. Yeah. They've never been on a stage this big. But these were two professionals. They were in the main event last year. And of course, they were in a tag team. You know, they were their tag team specialists. Right. But this is their first one as singles guys. They've thought about this for a while and gave us that. It makes me sick to my stomach because I really liked them and they wanted that match. But did they forget they had a match? Did they not choreograph what was going to happen? Did they think of the story aspect?
They look like they look like they were wrestling on AEW Dynamite.
I'm
not hating on AEW, but you know there's a lot of top matches that just do that kind of crap. Like there's some of them. That's what it looks like.
I'm gonna just say like that match. That match is just really just terrible. Like I don't know why, but I thought we were gonna have like a spectacle. I thought we were gonna see some people fly. I thought we were gonna see some shit happen. I thought we were gonna see Bloodline interfere. You know, I thought we was gonna get a little something. And y'all gave us nothing. I'm like, nothing.
I'm not gonna lie.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think my thing is when you said that you thought Bloodline was gonna appear. That was literally my thought once I was on Twitter and I saw that Jacob and Zilla Fatu both were in town. I was like, oh, this is literally the perfect time to expand on the family and let them know you're really fucked. Like, there really is a lot more of us and everything, and that's your ass. Except that didn't happen. And you know, it's really messed up when they talk about their moment within the big final match and everything, when they say literally on the ramp, that sequence was better than their whole match. That's messed up. Like a small sequence is better than your whole match. I mean, listen, they didn't have to do anything crazy, but they could have gave us a little bit more. We're talking about the announcer was hype as hell. Yo, the last time, or like they're what is this? One of three people up to or one of three times this ever happened in WrestleMania and anything, whereas those brothers actually went against each other. The Hardys and now the Usos. Like, this was actually special,
a big deal.
And they took the special out of it. Like, it to me, and I can understand trying to build to something bigger, but this is the biggest it gets. It's literally WrestleMania.
This is it.
And it's most people got up to during other matches to go grab their merch because they're like, we're not missing this one. We're not missing this. A lot of people left during the street fight match and everything and stuff to go get their shit. That was more enjoyable.
Yeah, it was.
Like, that's crazy. If you missed that one, you would have been mad as hell that wasn't for a belt. Like, that shit was nice and everything. This match, everyone stood because we expected, our expectations are what made us want to stay and watch it.
I agree.
Come on, man. It was ridiculous. It was messed up.
All right.
Lil Wayne was there. Lil Wayne was there. Y'all just
Yeah.
went with it.
Or
Nothing
should-
with that. Like,
He walked
good
out.
point. Dirty Dan, real quick.
I want to add for night 2 real quick.
Go ahead, real quick. Yep.
So the main event, that was perfect to me.
Yeah.
That was perfection from beginning to end, because everyone
Yes.
knew John Cena was coming. We all thought Stone Cold was gonna come, right?
Yep.
But why the Undertaker was perfect is because Seth Rollins, from the very jump, saying it was pretty much It was almost like the NWO. Remember, like WCW versus NWO.
Yep.
It was like
Yeah.
WWE versus the Bloodline.
Yep.
versus the
And
Bloodline.
who better to come out than the locker room leader, the Undertaker?
Yep.
He's always been
And-
a corporate guy.
Yeah. And then on top of that, Samantha Irving, she needs her flowers.
Yes, she does.
An
Absolutely.
announcement
Oh.
at the end with her being
Yes.
emotional made
Loved it.
that even more perfect, the Cody Rhodes
Beautiful.
ending.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was so great, and it can make a grown man cry. So, you know, it was beautiful,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that she was able to. I don't want to say redeem herself, because I didn't have a problem with it, but for all the haters out there, I'm glad that
You
she
seen
had.
that too, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I'm glad she had her chance to,
What
you know,
haters?
say it the proper way.
What?
I mean, you
Everyone
didn't
was-
see that?
What? They
I
were
didn't see
coming at her. They're
Yeah,
coming
coming
at
at
her.
her.
Yeah,
Well,
they
Because
I'm
one of the
just-
referees was talking crazy, yo.
Yeah, yeah.
triggers
So,
me. There's
This,
no
this,
reason to
this
hate her.
issue's over the top
Yeah.
That
and
was
cringy.
real emotion. That was
Yeah.
fun.
well,
Facts.
Yeah.
again, we see it and we applaud it, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
for all the haters out there, I'm glad that she was able to redeem herself for you guys, even though it doesn't matter. But she killed it, and yeah, I
Yeah.
actually appreciate the emotion, because we need more of that.
And
Yeah.
not only
Last-
that, man,
last one, go
to,
ahead.
to make this match even more special, I think a lot of people forget that Mr. McMahon and Triple H didn't believe that Cody Rhodes could ever hold this belt and actually be believable. He left, asked for his release, and for 6 years, he spent outside of the WWE not only building his name, building his, let's say, in-ring experience and everything, his character. He did everything he could, and then finally came back. He did that for 6 years in the unknown. It just could have. You know how many people leave, go to they go over to Japan and everything and stuff, or they go anywhere else, and it just doesn't work out, and we never hear from them ever again. There's multiple people and everything. If you go look at the list of, if y'all remember Nexus, go look
Yeah.
at everybody who was in Nexus and everything. You have maybe 3 of them that possibly actually continue their career in any form of success. Like, we forget that there are so many people who don't. This man left, bet it on himself, succeeded, came back, and did way more than succeed. Like,
Facts.
this was like, if you actually followed him and remembered in the indie scene, once his contract came up, everybody was like, he's hot as fish grease. Like, what is he going to do? Where's he going next? He came back home. He did his thing, worked his ass off, and again, his wife standing next to him from the moment he walked out, and then once he won, his wife jumped in the ring and everything. That shit was emotional as fuck.
Of course. Yep.
It was great.
Yep. And
I think
and,
to
you
add
know,
to that,
go ahead.
though, to be fair, that's impressive in and of itself. Being able to go away and come back and rebuild yourself is phenomenal. But it does happen every once in a while. Cody being the biggest example of it. I think what's even more impressive is the year after 39. What blue meat, or what, not blue, white meat baby face have you ever seen that kisses babies and doesn't use curse words go a full year getting cheered? Usually,
True.
like after
Yeah.
2 months, bro, get this guy off my screen. I don't want to see anymore. And I'm a little bit on that train, but he was able to go from losing at 39 to getting the biggest pops every week through the rest of that year, and then coming in and getting the biggest pop for 40. That by itself was impressive. I think Dijak tweeted, he's an NXT guy, said,
Yeah.
not now, in a few months, whether it's a few months, a few weeks, you guys are going to start booing him. And I'll come back to this tweet and I'll be right. If they started booing him next week, that does not take away from 39 to 40 that he kept
Yeah.
the status of,
Yep.
I don't, you know, I'm the good guy. He agreed to be somebody's best man at their wedding because of a sign in the
Yeah.
crowd. He's such a baby face.
Yep.
Nobody likes those guys. I don't like those guys. Last time I liked that guy was John Cena, and I was wrong because I was
Well,
a child, right?
I-
but
I would say not okay, not to interrupt. I would say this though. People do love baby faces if it's done right. Because if you look at Stephen
agree.
Curry, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
Basketball guy.
yeah. Well, I understand that. I understand that, but it's something that people love about the baby face. Like you just said, it's
Well-
something about the resilience of a baby face that you're like, yo, you can get bullied around, quote unquote, and still keep up with the badasses. You like to see that dynamic play out. Now it gets a little annoying after a while, like you said. Like that's why people say he cries too much, he's a little too emotional,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. And there's some people who complain about that. But I do think that there's a special dynamic that when you can sell a baby face with somebody like a Roman Reigns who's a little bit more angry, a little bit more grungy as what we would like. I think that you know you could play off of that a little bit, and it kind of does, and like you can usher in something again a little different. But excuse me, I understand that it's basketball, but think about it this way: when Stephen Curry was playing at that time, though, it was rough. LeBron was the guy. You had a lot of street guys still around, like Allen Iverson, and you know that there was still street aspects. So I think what the WWE is finding out is that we can not only keep the grunge crowd and like the heavier crowd and like I guess you would say like the attitude era crowd. We could still keep that around and also bring in some of this babyface new teens and have it all work together. Because I think that's kind of what you see happening here. You get some attitude era, you get some of the babyface, and then on Netflix we're gonna see it go,
Can't wait.
mature and more R-rated. So we're gonna see a lot more of these things play out, and you might see Cody become a little bit more racy there. He might be able to say a little bit more and get away with more. So we'll see how it plays
And
out.
on top of that,
Right?
they booed John Cena all the time. He turned out fine.
That's true.
Not right. I
Very
never
true.
got that.
Yeah.
Well,
very true.
I think also on top of that, I think the only reason why like the babyface thing sometimes works and sometimes doesn't in WWE is the fact that we understand it's scripted. So
Right.
to be able
I like that.
to in any form of entertainment, your one and only job is to pull me out of my 9 to 5 day and everything and give me some type of enjoyment. So when it comes to a baby face, it's hard to put believable in the same sentence as scripted, but like the baby face just don't whine. Like
Don't push it.
that's so
Yeah.
yeah, like there's a very fine line you have to walk. And I get the comparison like when you talk about Curry and everything, but at the same time is that because that's not scripted, regardless, as long as he goes and puts up points, we cool.
Respect that.
But
We
now if he start
definitely know
doing
that
his,
being scripted.
Here's
Well,
the thing. When it comes to what's the one thing Steph Curry, John Cena, and Cody Rhodes all have in common?
They have a script.
No, listen,
I hate to stick it.
kids loved them.
That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere. This is
Yeah.
why John
Yeah.
Cena never went heel. This is why Cody Rhodes, whether adults start booing him or not,
It doesn't
he's
matter.
gonna sell merch
Yeah.
because
That's
the
what I'm
kids
saying.
love him.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like the current roster, again, is more geared towards us older men and whatever. But they're gonna have to find that crossover, and Cody's that guy. He's a nice looking guy,
The deep blonde hair.
perfect. There you go, perfect smile. Everything that you want in that Wonder Boy. And we know that crashes out after about a year. So he has about a year here before it's like, all right, you're becoming this. Let's say superhero, a Captain America,
nuisance.
for example, or a Superman. That shit becomes annoying after a while because it starts to become cliche. Now you're like the Wonder Boy. Like, okay, we're done with that shit. Like, we want the grunge back.
There you go. Always turn into hot. What's his name? From the boys.
Homelander.
Homelander.
Yeah, he could go from Captain America to Homelander real quick. Yeah,
And
he
don't have
could
to,
keep
don't
the
have
same
to
gear
change his
too.
colors at all. No,
I
you
don't.
My respect for him goes through the roof. I get Homelander.
Oh my
You
God.
go logo on him,
I
I'm
want
telling
that
you.
so
Yo,
bad.
cry.
Oh, Raw after WrestleMania, boys.
Piss me off.
Yeah,
ahead,
a
fucking
lot of
man.
different things
Pissed
happen, but
me
the main thing I want to talk about before I kind of dibble and dab into it, the main thing that we saw happen was The Rock
A
gave
lot of talking.
Bro,
but
It
The
wasn't even a
Rock-
free hour. It was 45
wasn't.
minutes.
Yeah,
a
it
lot of
was.
talking. It was awkward, but you had to think about it.
The Rock gave Cody something, and we're trying to figure out what did The Rock give Cody. So, Inhuman, take us off. What do you think? Let's start off with Inhuman.
I
wanna skip the
don't
line here.
know. But I do know that they said that when Cody had went backstage, I believe it was at WrestleMania, someone had gave him a watch that was his father's that apparently he had pawned so that
Hmm.
way he can send Cody to acting school.
Yeah, that
I'm
was the
not
watch he
sure
had
if
on.
maybe yeah. So like I don't know if maybe it's like uh something meaningful like that, or if it's a play on something that The Rock gave him something, and when he comes back, he's gonna be like, "Do you still have it?" All right, cool. Like, I don't know what the case may be. I don't know what the hell it is. Uh, I, I don't know, man.
Okay.
And he
Okay. I
gave
mean,
him a
it's
dime
fair.
back,
I
bro.
mean,
I
you feel
really
like,
don't know, bro.
Yeah,
I don't
nah,
know.
hey, don't take RJ's answer now. All right, I got you.
Nah,
RJ said it must have been something.
I-
Afy. He said an Afy.
it could be. It
Missy
could have
Black,
The
been.
what you
Rock, he
think?
got some big ass hands, so I
Yeah.
don't know. Like,
Oh,
so like, yeah, like honestly,
Because
I
Dirty
don't know
Dan
if
has a
it's
theory.
something.
Okay, you know what? Let's get into it. Dirty Dan, what is your
Yeah, go
theory?
ahead.
Because
Okay.
because you can start the conversation. Let me hear
I got nothing but jokes, so yeah, you go.
okay.
it.
Well, there was another theory that came to my head, but I wasn't okay. We won't make this long. Let me ask your opinion. After he handed him what he handed him, right? You saw Cody's face, right?
Yeah,
Did he look pissed or did he look confused to y'all?
you look confused.
He looked confused.
You inhuman?
I'm gonna be. I think he kind of looked a little pissed.
Thank you. Okay. So
He
I
looked
like that
pissed
though.
or disappointed. One of
Really?
those two.
no, I think he looked pissed
Fair enough.
because he looked confused at first, but then he looked like he started getting mad.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
during the whole conversation, The Rock said a couple of times, no fireworks, no harm. Okay. What happened that Cody tweeted out about his bus?
Then they got
They
caught
got
on
caught.
fire.
He handed him a
Yo,
lighter.
Oh.
He handed him a
Oh,
lighter.
okay.
And
Good.
Okay.
Cody got pissed,
Good.
and that's why The Rock said, "Do not ever break my heart again." It's a lighter.
Okay. I like
Okay.
that. I like
You like
that.
that?
Because
Yeah.
now he just showed Cody, I will
Mm.
go to great lengths to hurt you.
To hurt, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I
So
think
I get it.
I think the bus
I
was a
get it.
work.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't think it was really
Maybe.
on fire. Or if it did really happen on fire, just put it into the storyline.
All right,
Like, I
quick
really think
RJ
Yeah.
it was a
ideas.
lighter.
I mean, but he said he only grabbed 2 things from his bus when it caught on fire, though. He said, "I only grabbed 2 things from my bus when it caught on
His
fire."
wrestling boots.
Mhm.
And what else?
It was a
He still got
picture
his
of his
pants and his
daughter.
coat.
Nah, a picture of his daughter and his wife.
So then, where his clothes come from?
And then
If you only grabbed 2 things,
I'm saying,
he
and
would have
then
been butt ass naked with some boots on in
No,
that
I'm
ring.
saying-
You only got those 2
Hold on.
things.
at
Hold on,
WrestleMania, when they
Uh-huh.
show footage, he came out of the bus.
Touche.
Yeah,
He was in a
and it
bus.
was his bus.
It was
so
a
But what
bus.
if,
Even
but
though-
what if he got a new bus?
RJ
I
quick.
thought they could have just bought him another bus,
Yeah,
respectfully.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
I
It
mean,
is
think it
gonna
worked.
be.
RJ, real quick.
To me,
So
to me, the words "no fireworks, no harm"
okay,
to
yeah.
me
Yeah.
said a couple times.
He handed him a Cheech and Chong Zippo lighter. So
Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you. The only other thought I had too. What is that thing that Roman Reigns wears?
That red
the
thing.
bulletproof
yeah.
vest.
That's what it. Either that or he gave him a piece of that. Like,
Yeah, something small.
I don't think
Oh.
that's
You know what I mean?
confuse or annoy him though to see a piece
Yeah.
of the Ulafala. I bet it's gonna
Well,
be
I
kind of
think
confusion, but I mean,
Maybe
I
use
don't
that as
think
a
it's
but I'm saying,
reminder.
if you give him that,
Yeah.
then it's like a symbolism. Like, remember he's
coming
saying
back for you.
now it's me and it's my
It's me and
story
you,
with you.
yeah.
It's our story.
Mm,
I
Then
don't
he's
know, yeah.
now he's trying to tell him now I'm the tribal chief.
Okay. Okay.
What if he
I
gave
mean,
him a little
be
mini?
a tweak.
To me, it's those two because I know the Rock's hand's huge. You saw how it compared, but
Yeah.
whatever he put in his pocket wasn't big. So
True.
I'm thinking a lighter because once again he kept saying no fireworks, no
The
harm.
lighter would be
What
fire.
are those things
That'd be
called?
fire.
The little sands of time, John, whatever. What if you gave him one of them?
yeah, that'd be
When
dope.
the last great hit, I'm coming back.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Nah, that'd be crazy.
Oh,
Nah,
that'd be
that'd
cool.
be-
That'd be cool. I like that. See, speculation. I like that. Okay.
My other thing is that it seems as though they're kind of just pushing this CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. But I
I'm
don't
about
mean
to
that.
get
It
into
seems
that.
like
I'm about to
that-
get
that's
into
exactly.
that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. You want to kick it off then?
No,
Go kick that off.
no. That's great. That was a great transition. I'm about to get into that right now. That's what I want to transition into. So you did it for me. Drew was screwed twice, right? How do you
Yeah.
feel about that? And we'll start off with the
That
human because
was
you transition. Drew was screwed twice, and it looks like they're trying to set it up for the Punk. So where do you think that's going, bro? And we'll end it there too.
I do think that they are going to fully seek out this whole Drew and CM Punk thing. However, I think this does officially call it quits for his run for the belt as of for right now. I do think later on there will go, but I do think that they're going to try and push Jay to go ahead and do that and everything and stuff. And I think that's going to do it. Although I don't want them to, because I feel as though Drew put way too much time and effort into getting his shot to go do this. But I think for right now, they're going to push the CM Punk thing. And after that, whatever pay per view they want to wrap it up in, then go ahead and full force him on back to the belt and everything. But I do think that they're going to continue, like, he's going to go for the belt, CM Punk's going to fuck him over. He's going to go, CM Punk's going to fuck him over. And then Jay's just probably going to take it by that time. And then he'll probably have to fight Jay for that shit eventually.
So Drew doesn't get a rematch clause?
That was my question. 'Cause why was he in a
Yeah.
fatal 4-way when he just lost the belt? That didn't make any sense to me. That's
I
like
don't know,
my
but
biggest
I-
problem with
Eyeball.
that Raw.
I think
why
CM
was he
Punk's gonna
mad?
fuck him over again. I think that's gonna be the whole story. Like he's going. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get his one-on-one rematch due to his clause. But I think CM Punk's gonna come out again.
But that's dumb though. For all that, they should just have CM Punk fighting for the belt. I've been cool with that.
No, I don't think it's
Nah,
dumb. I don't think it's
bro.
dumb. Once again,
Let me hear you, Dan.
Meech, I don't think you like storytelling sometimes.
No, I don't mind it.
Hold
No,
on.
because listen, Drew McIntyre has been talking shit
Yeah.
for months about
CM
injuring
Punk.
CM Punk.
Mhm.
So now that CM Punk's not injured, he's gonna come. He's gonna get what he's got. His just dessert on this one.
He did the
Once
Batista
again,
cast off the arm.
Drew McIntyre was the one that decided I'm gonna go poke the bear and mess with CM Punk after I won my title. And what happened? It backfired. So now you're just gonna keep building up. And let's be honest, yo, bro. I'm gonna say it once. I'm gonna say it again. Drew earned his shit, yes. But people, when CM Punk first came back, they wanted him to go for the title. It was gonna be him
Yeah.
and Rollins.
Yeah.
And that shit was
Alright.
gonna be money. Not saying Drew wasn't, but
Yeah.
that was gonna be money.
All right, RJ, let me get some RJ in here real quick. Let me get some of your
I think
points.
to build off that too, I think the storytelling that was there. What was Drew's main story towards Seth going into WrestleMania? He literally kept telling him, "You're too focused on the bloodline and not me, and that's what's going to cost you the title." Who was he focused on in WrestleMania?
CM Punk.
CM
And what it cost him,
Punk.
the
Yeah.
He's
title.
not paying
Bro
attention.
should
to
just
the
left.
club.
All he had to do was just leave.
All he had to do was leave. So with
That
the
man
promo
cat
we
crawled
got,
across the table.
You know what I mean?
that was crazy.
That's
by the way.
crazy.
That's
I can relate. That was what I was shocked to see that. But with the promo we got before that Fatal 4-Way match, I think they're gonna give Drew the Money in the Bank, and he's gonna be the exact hypocrite that he just was. What was his problem with Rollins? You're not focused on me. He wasn't focused on Seth, and that's why he got cashed in on. Now he's like, hey man, I'm just saying, Money in the Bank is kind of bitch behavior. He's gonna win Money in the Bank. He'll get the title that way. I think you end up doing Punk McIntyre's at SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight title. I think that's how we get there. And I think that might not be their blow off match, depending on who wins that.
Yeah.
Because that's what, August. Like that's so far away that I don't know. Like even if that's like the idea, but I think that's where it'll at least like the first like climax will be like Drew gets Money in the Bank, could instantly cash in. I don't think that's gonna be. I think they'll have him maybe get that and then go to Clash of the Castle, cash in or something, or hell, he might do the RVD thing and be like, I want you in my hometown now. This is my area, then wins it there. Punk comes back fully, Punk and him at SummerSlam. That's how I would assume it's going based off of what Drew as a character is currently. But I mean, it also depends on if CM Punk's arm is fixed, because he seemed fine. He could have, taken 2 Advil and then
adrenaline.
adrenaline,
bro.
like,
Yeah, it's WrestleMania.
Could
Like,
have
fuck
been.
it.
We don't
Could
know.
have been, but I don't think CM Punk would take that risk.
I don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
think so.
Especially since that's the
Yeah.
reason why he left in the first place.
Exactly.
Was he was hurt and forced to work. Why
And
would he
remember-
force himself to work hurt? It wouldn't make sense.
In the lead up, he kept hinting on, like, he purposely was saying in interviews, like, I'm not going to tell you where I'm at.
Yep. Yeah. Why
He
would he?
definitely did say that.
Yeah, so he said, I'm not going to tell you where I'm at. So he's probably, he's probably healed, but it's still going to take it slow.
Oh,
And
yeah,
to be honest with
totally.
you, your whole Drew versus CM Punk. Look, I'm biased, bro. And don't get me wrong, Drew can talk. That's gonna be great promos back and forth. But man,
It is.
Punk. There's something about Punk, bro, and his promos. I'm like, yeah.
That's
Drew all day, Drew all day. Well, look,
Definitely Drew
love
all
Drew,
day.
but Punk is him though. That is him.
hey, I think that's what we're building up for, and I think it'll be a very entertaining thing to watch. It's been very fun to watch. As most of you know, I'm a Drew guy, so I've been a little upset with the double screwage, but I definitely get it. You know,
The double screwage.
yeah, as I'm gonna call it, especially as you know, as a good as a heel as he can be, and as much as a good shit talker as he can be. You know, I definitely expected someone like him and his type of character to get fucked over anyway. Because when you're fucking people over and talking shit about people, this is what happened. This is just what it is. So you know, it makes complete sense. It just sucks to see it happen this way. And
But-
Dirty Dan, going to wrap it up. About to wrap it
The
up.
Puerto Rican in us are happy.
Hey,
First
man,
one in
shout out
50
to-
years, man.
That's
That-
true.
that's
Puerto
great.
Rican
That's
are
true.
happy, right?
There it is.
Wepa.
Hey man, no cap. Hey, look,
Question.
go ahead. Yes.
Well, before we end this and everything, there was a thing that was going around saying that Roman had his belt for what was it, 1,000 and how many days?
316 days.
Yeah. Yeah, it was some what is it, like this 3-4 years, something like
Yeah.
something like that.
About
that.
Yeah, about
And he defended it how many, like 30 something times?
No.
probably
No.
not, but maybe
I don't think it was that low.
maybe about
Oh,
20.
no.
I'm about to think
No.
Seth was defending his for like 62 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
Nice.
said it was like within like a third of the time and everything. That's actually curious. How does that line up for you? I mean, if you anybody want to Google that shit real quick and everything, see how many times he actually did defend it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll do it
I'm
right
curious real
now.
quick.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, because that was actually because I could have sworn it said something like 36 or 37 times, something
Well,
like that.
Oh,
At,
thick.
at the end of the day, remember, Seth kept saying like he built that championship to beat the fighting championship belt.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
was defending it constantly.
11 times.
Yeah,
Wait,
so-
what?
11 times. I know. I that's right.
11 times?
11 times.
Who?
Yep.
Seth or
Roman.
Roman?
Oh,
Roman.
11 times last year or in the 1,300 days?
I was.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
last year I
not,
bel- I
that's not
completely-
1,300
I
days,
believe
bro.
I was about to say 11
Yeah.
times scratched his head.
Oh.
I don't- That would be
Yo.
When he said 11, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I was about to ask a
That's
crazy
crazy.
question. Then I was about to say, is this? I know I'm late, but is he overrated? I mean, you said 11. Wait a minute. I was like,
Let's discuss
11
fraudulent
the last
status.
year. 11 in the last year.
okay,
yeah, that's
okay,
true.
okay,
Yeah.
makes sense. All right, it's not
All right,
bad.
there
When he
you
first
go.
got the belts, he was constantly. I think he was on almost every pay per view. It's just that over
Yeah.
the last like year and a half, that's when he slowed down, which is when everybody
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, he's got to take this off." But yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
I don't think the two title reigns are the same though. To be fair,
Yeah.
Oh,
because
no, not at all.
Seth was given a title that had a history but hasn't been around in so long, so he kind of had to establish something with that belt. It being the workhorse is, of course, what he wanted to establish it as, which I
Yes.
feel it has.
I
been.
like
hope
that.
that
Yes.
um,
Yeah.
Damian keeps it, but Roman's was very much a different situation. It was a generational run that we won't see again. So I can
Yeah.
kind of forgive the last year of him not working too hard, only because you got to stay up. Like you can't get hurt. You can't have a torn quad, especially if their whole thing for this run is, guys, this will never happen again. Who's gonna stop it? And then you have to include Cody in that, where it's like they built Cody to be the history making
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, like the person to stop a historic run.
Yep.
If he goes out there on a Friday night and goes, I'll defend this against somebody, and tears a quad,
Oh.
okay, like we're kind of,
Yeah.
because he's gone
Yeah.
for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like we can't have him be like AFK fully for 6 months. So
Yep.
doing lesser like LA Knight style matches,
Yeah.
the one
Yeah.
at Crown Jewel, kind of made sense in hindsight. Were they boring? Yeah, but in hindsight, if we wanted the Cody moment, we kind of had
We
to
had
go
to do
through a
that.
rough year of,
Yeah.
of
Well,
these like
Okay.
matches.
I also
Go- wait,
brought that
quick,
up
Dirty
just to
Dan.
basically.
I
Yeah, real quick.
just
Yeah, yeah, bro.
I just looked it up. Roman Reigns, I mean, Seth Rollins pretty much doubled Roman
Oh.
because Roman won the title in 2020
Mm.
when he faced Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, and Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
So from 2020 all the way, okay, I'm this is not an exact number. From 2020 to 2023, when he faced LA Knight at Crown Jewel, that was his 29th defense.
Okay. Damn.
Damn, that
Yeah.
does sound low. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty low. But
Yeah.
So he
Was-
but if anybody was thinking about it, he was pretty much Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, a little bit.
Brock just didn't defend. Now, granted, he was more entertaining than Brock. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Story was there. It was
Yeah.
a big drama.
And human,
Yeah.
really quick though. I didn't want to interrupt. Go ahead real quick. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Well, like that
Rewind
was
it
part
back.
of my reason for bringing it up. But
Yeah.
my main reason for bringing that up too is that those who now currently hold their belts, obviously, we know Cody is not going to scratch the amount of time that Roman has held that for. That's not going to happen. Um, Damien, I kind of feel like they're just using him as a stepping stone to the next person
I agree.
that's going to hold the belt.
Yep.
But in terms of records, where do you think now this is at? My genius idea was pretty much vault records and consider them like when Disney bought Star Wars, they have the expanded like legends or whatever. So consider certain records legend records or whatever and stuff like that. And like vault those records kind of
Yeah.
and just start off fresh with the Triple H era now and everything or the
Mhm.
Paul era and
Yeah.
just be like, hey, Roman's the number one guy now.
Yep.
I
And
like that.
from this point on and everything, like kind of allow the new class to now be the face of the new records.
Yes.
Whereas
Yes.
you have legacy records, and then you have the new generation and everything. Just thought I'd pick your brains about that shit.
That
That's a
makes
good
sense.
idea. I like that though.
Yeah, I think that makes sense because um that would always that at that point if you can do something like that and make it and I'll end on this too, we kind of getting kind of late, but if you can implement something like that, what that does is that kind of takes away from this whole comparison thing, which gets ugly. Like the whole LeBron and Jordan debate, for example, it gets very annoying and stupid after a while. It's like, okay, it's like for example, let's keep Stone Cold and The Rock facing off against each other. They faced off against each other so many times, it makes sense to compare them. At no point do I want to say is Stone Cold or Cody Rhodes better. Like
Right.
like those eras, like you said, should stay separate. And I think if you can cement those legacies, like you said, and just say, look, this is what we're gonna keep it. Attitude era, blah blah. Like, Roman and before, like you said, like that is basically what it was. Or even before Roman, if you want to say Roman's like the new face now, we can bring him in, and that's the record. Blah blah. How you want to do it? I think to get the ball rolling at least, I think that does make sense to kind of say like, look, we're gonna kind of restart these books and say, look, these are like the old school legacies, and these are like the golden era legacy type of records. And now we have some of these new ones. And again, I think that's dope because then you don't have to compare as much. You say, well, look, they already drew the line. This is where the line stops, and this is where it starts. So the new guys, we compare them against this.
Yeah,
Or
there's
do you
no
have a
reason.
yeah.
There's no reason to compare anyway because at the end of the day, like people like okay, look, you don't gotta like Hogan, but people
Right.
like Hogan, people like Austin. Austin saved the WWE.
Yeah, for
Facts.
sure.
Yeah.
Now,
His era was defining.
you could
Yeah.
also say that for Roman Reigns. He made it cool again. More
Yes.
people back. It
Yeah.
wasn't just The Rock. The Rock says that 'cause he was playing his heel.
Yeah.
But Roman's what made it interesting, the bloodline.
Yeah, of course.
So he's up there with the Austin and all those guys anyway. So
Yeah.
like there's really no reason to compare. They all did their thing in their eras.
Well, you know what it is, bro. It's just like,
I know what you're saying, I know
yeah,
what
yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying.
You know,
I was just
internet
making
and
the point that
as
like
humans,
there's
period.
nothing to talk about.
Yeah, we just like to compare. So anyway, great episode, honestly. Yeah, I think that this was an amazing episode. Hey, if you're listening, thank you for listening to episode number 3. It's your boy JD, and I'm gonna let my host say goodbye. Go ahead and human, you can lead us off with your goodbye. Say your thank yous and goodbyes.
All right, guys. As always, it's your man Inhuman Line. If you wish to find me on any of your various social media networks, you can find me at Inhuman Line. That's INHUMANLINE. On all your various social media networks, feel free to click the link in bio. In that bio, you will find both my stuff as well as Shoot to Wins things, including their Discord and also our merch store as well.
Go ahead and meet
I
you
like
black.
that. Thank everyone for coming through. As you know, it's your boy Meet You Black. Y'all have a good night. And also make sure to donate to my fund. Don't forget about my
Oh my
funds.
God.
Don't
Anyway,
forget.
RJ, go ahead.
All right, I appreciate y'all for watching this episode. It's a great episode. A lot of good discussions going here. If you ever want to hear just my yapping, I'm over on the Main Event RJ channel. That's where I mostly do wrestling stuff. I also have gaming content, but that's unrelated. Also, I missed out on AEW Dynamite, so you have to leave a like on this on this pod right now because, damn it, they were supposed to expose CM Punk tonight, and I chose to be
I
here talking about WrestleMania.
I
So,
know. I want to see. I need to see this video. I gotta see
yeah,
this video.
I gotta know what happens now, but I can lessen that blow if you leave a like on this or on Spotify, leave us 5 stars. Because
Ooh,
I'm not saying you
Ooh,
have to.
ooh.
I'm just saying,
The alley.
do you want
Okay.
to see me cry? I'm just a little guy, so leave us
Okay.
5 stars and leave us a like.
All right, the
Dirty
alley.
Dan. Go ahead, Dirty
Oh
Dan.
yeah, it's the final hater. I appreciate y'all for listening. I want this dude to cry because they didn't expose nothing about CM Punk. He didn't miss nothing. All right, Tony Khan's an idiot. We're not gonna go there. But anyway, appreciate all the love and support, everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.